Thanks for joining me for another video. My name is Sean Egglestone and I'm a registered dietitian. And today I am going to show you exactly what I bought from the store. Now, if you haven't seen some of my other videos, you know that my philosophy is going to the grocery store and buying the healthiest foods available and then bringing them home and creating recipes that you love and enjoy from that food. Produce. So here we have from the, it's sort of like the half off section. We have some collard greens. We have some Swiss chard. We're gonna cook this up tonight. I know it's a little wilty, but we will cook this up tonight. We have some more Swiss chard. And then we have some heirloom tomatoes. We have pepper, another heirloom tomato, all 50% off. And then we also have an eggplant. Now, you might say, Sean, I don't really like those foods, and that's fine. You buy whatever it is you like, but I will let you know that half of your time in the grocery store needs to be spent in the produce section. Half of your fridge and pantry should be produce, and half of every single meal that you have, lunch and dinner, needs to also be produce. With that being said, we also have some fruits here. I got some nectarines, I got some peaches, I also have some half-off avocados because you also know that I shop on a budget. I use the $2 a pound rule. So when you're at the grocery store and you're in the produce section, I typically don't buy anything that's more than $2 a pound. And then that way I make sure that I'm maintaining a pretty good budget. So if you're budgeting for a heart-healthy diet, you should estimate it's about $50 per person per week for healthy meals. Now, I have another video that's on the dietary guidelines for Americans 2020, and I follow that for a whole month, and I dive into my meal plan, what I eat, and how much it costs. And what it works out to is on the low end, it's about $135 a month. On the upper end, it's about $165 a month. But for under $50 per person per week, I can meet the dietary guidelines and also meet it on a budget. Now, we also have some salsa. Now, I do like to make my own salsa. However, sometimes it can be cheaper to buy your own. And so one of the things that you need to think about when you're in the grocery store is not just necessarily like what the healthiest foods are, but also what's the easiest way for you to eat healthy. And so if buying some of these products pre-made means that you'll actually eat them, then that's good. So for example, here they have some homemade, these are lentil burgers that they make in the grocery store. Now you're paying about $1.50 a patty. That's not too bad, all things considered. But when you think, if I don't buy these, I actually wouldn't eat lentils today. And so the trade-off is you pay a little bit more for the convenience of them making this product, but it's healthy and it means you'll eat it. So there's a trade-off that you need to work into your budget if you see fit. Here I have Thompson raisins. So these are just, your standard raisins. Nothing like fancy about it. They're just a big bag of raisins. So I spend a good part of my time in the grocery store in the bulk bin section. And when I show you my pantry, I'll show you exactly what that means. Now, if you'll notice, there are a ton of tomato products. These were on sale at like a grocery outlet. And these were $2 each. They are organic. These are just finely chopped tomato sauce. I can use this for pastas. I can use this for lasagnas. There's a lot of, and they don't go bad. They're good for a whole year. So here, low in calories, 20 calories. You'll know that when I pick up products, there's only two things I look at. Now, I do think it's important to buy organic, but with that being said, there's only two things I look at. The first one is the sodium, and the second one is the ingredient label. So this product should only have one or two ingredients. There shouldn't be that much in it. So looking at the ingredients here, it says I guess it just says 100%. Oh yeah, ingredients, organic tomatoes. That is the only product in here. So knowing that this is only a single ingredient, whether it's tomato sauce, whether it's just black beans, whether it's just pasta, whatever it is you buy at the grocery store, canned peaches, I want to make sure that there's as few ingredients as possible. When I know that there's no added salt, sugar, fat in here, I know that the label reading is not important. It's not important because there's no added processed foods like sugar, salt, and oils. So this is just a whole food. It's just tomatoes that have been turned into a sauce. So I don't have to look at the macros. The only time that you really have to look at the macros is when you buy foods that have complicated ingredient labels. And you know that I tell, or at least that I recommend, not buying products with complicated ingredient labels. So it makes shopping a lot quicker. The other thing I look at is the sodium. You will see, I know it's not really zooming in, but you can trust me on this, sodium 0. So this is great for people with congestive heart failure. This is great for people on a heart-healthy diet. This is great for people who have diabetes. This is a great product at $2 each. It's a steal, so I got 16 of them. I like to make pizza. Of course, we make vegan pizza. I don't add cheese. I don't add meat, but it's delicious. I have a video on my website about or on my YouTube channel, Sean the RD, about how I make pizza. This is the dough that I usually get. This is a rosemary dough. Now this it's made from white flour. You can get whole wheat dough, and if you have that available to you, I highly recommend that you do that instead of the white dough. However, I guess you could I'm splurging here. This is my processed food that I bought at the store. Now, I do want to show you one thing. Now, one of the topics that I talk about with people with diabetes is carbohydrates. And if you have questions on carbohydrates, go over to my website, seantherd.com, and you can click on Learn. Under Presentations, there's a video on diabetes. And that video will go over, actually, the diabetes video is good, but it's the carbohydrate video that I want you to watch. And it goes over all the different kinds of carbohydrates and how they affect your blood sugar. And that will really help displace any myths and other bad information online. It's top-notch. I highly recommend it. Now, if you're at the grocery store and you're picking up a product like this, it says honey wheat. So I'm thinking, well, this looks like a whole wheat product. You know, it's brown, and it says honey wheat, so this must be a whole wheat product. Yes and no. Now, on the ingredient label, let's see if it'll pick up. Not really. I don't know why it's not picking up. So it says here, I'll read it off. Local, organic, whole grain, wheat flour. Perfect. You know that I recommend that when you buy wheat products, whether it's bread or tortillas or pasta, you make sure that the first ingredient says whole. But also the trick is you want to make sure that none of the other ingredients say enriched. You don't want to see niacin, folic acid, thiamine, iron. You don't want to see this product enriched with any minerals, because that's how you identify white flour. So by law, if a product is made with white flour, they're required to replace some of those B vitamins with in the food to prevent deficiencies. And so this has, the first ingredient says whole. However, the second ingredient says water, and then it says unbleached wheat flour. But it doesn't say whole, W-H-O-L-E. It just says wheat flour. So wheat flour, niacin, iron, thiamine, riboflavin, folic acid. So I know that 51% of the flour is whole wheat, and 49% of the flour is going to be white flour. So this is about half white flour, half wheat flour. I got some bananas, and then over here I have a whole bunch of figs and grapes from a neighbor's house. That's one of the things. If you have food that grows locally, maybe you have friends or family that grow their own food. Maybe you grow your own food. If you can grow your own food, I highly recommend that you eat it. So here I have figs. I have these little pears, and they're absolutely delicious, and I just eat them as snacks. Now, to keep this video short, if you guys want to keep watching, cool. We'll go ahead and take a look at my pantry. Some of this is chips. This is the fiance's section. She likes chips. Here on the bottom shelf here, this is my bulk bin section. This is everything that I get that comes in bulk bins. So things like unsalted, unroasted mixed nuts and seeds from Costco. It includes nutritional yeast. This gives our pizza a cheesy flavor without adding all the saturated fat, cholesterol, and calories that come from dairy cheese. I've got quinoa. I've got, this is rye. White beans, black beans. I've got some lentils here. I've got some supplements, and I have a little bit of honey and some coconut oil and some more honey and some balsamic vinegar. And then down here, let's tilt this down a little bit. Down here I have some more bulk items. Let's put this back. Here I've got some long grain brown rice. Again, I checked the ingredient label. Organic long grain brown rice. Since I know this only has one ingredient, I don't care about this. I can skip over that ingredient label because it only has one ingredient. No added salt, sugar, fat. We've got a whole bunch of whole wheat. When you see the word whole on the front, that's a good sign, but I always recommend flipping it around, looking at the ingredient label. Organic whole wheat durum flour, one ingredient. So I don't care what the salt, sugar, fat, macros, cholesterol, I don't care what any of that is, because it's only one ingredient. Same thing, I got spaghetti, I've got linguine. And then down here, I just have more products. I have just some different kinds of beans. Here, this one says no added salt. But again, I always flip it around. I make sure that it's under 300 milligrams. Under 300 milligrams is a good ballpark. Under 200 is better. Under 100 is best. So I get that sodium as low as possible. If you don't have low salt products at your grocery store, you can grab the strainer and you can rinse it out before you use the product at home. I've got some coconut milk. We like to make curries here. I've got some tomato paste. Again, no added salt tomato paste. This has 20 milligrams of sodium. One ingredient, organic tomato pulp. That's it. And that's for the pizzas. Some more organic tomato sauce. And some peanut butter. Again, the peanut butter. Now, this peanut butter has two ingredients. It's got organic peanuts, and it also has salt. But when I look at the sodium, 65 milligrams for 2 tablespoons. So under 100. So this is a recommended product for people with congestive heart failure. We have some artichoke hearts. Again, those are in oil, so I know that those are going to be a higher fat product, and I use them judiciously when I make pizzas or pastas. Other than that, I just have some baking stuff. Sometimes I bake, but not often. So white flour, white sugar, all the junk that I basically don't touch, maybe once a month. And then on the bottom shelf, I just have some bulk oatmeal. So just a 25-pound bag of oatmeal. So I hope you guys found some educational content in this video to help you figure out how to shop, how to cook, what to buy, how to label read. If you have any questions, you can post them in the comment section down below. Again, check out my website, SeanTheRD.com. It's got a great variety of content as well as recommended resources. And if you have any suggestions for videos or any other nutrition questions, there is a contact me section on my website. So feel free to hit me up. Thank you guys so much for watching. Cheers.